A 44-year-old Trump supporter named Ian Rogers is now in federal custody after his home and business were raided, and officers found dozens of weapons, thousands of rounds of ammunition, and material to make pipe bombs. According to text messages that they recovered from Mr. Rogers' phone there, it would appear that he wanted to make these pipe bombs and had the intent of bombing, as he called it, Democrat buildings. Or, of course, maybe just Twitter. Here are some of the messages that they found on this man's cell phone, sent between him and one of his friends. It said, "We can attack Twitter or the Democrats. You pick. I want to blow up a Democrat building bad. I hope 45 goes to war. If he doesn't, I will." Because of the wording of these messages, obviously the officers and the prosecutors who will eventually be involved in this, it's pretty easy to declare intent on this. You know, you don't have to go digging for it. You don't have to make these big legal leaps to find intent. You had the materials. You expressed the willingness. That is intent. This man is about to go to jail for a very, very, very long time. In addition to discussing attacking Democrats, I'm assuming in D.C., he also discussed going after California Governor Gavin Newsom, because again, this man was arrested in California, so that's what he had wanted to do. He also, the cops found a homemade, I guess, makeshift white privilege card that was designed to look like a credit card. And on his white privilege card, it said it trumps everything. And the number on the credit card was 0045, repeated 4 times. So there you have that. This individual obviously is not on the streets anymore. This is a dangerous person that has been removed. Fantastic. Let's talk about the roots of what happened here. Dozens of weapons, thousands of rounds of ammunition. That is uncalled for. You know, why are we just letting anyone and everyone buy as much ammo and as many guns as they feel like? You know, this goes beyond anything the Second Amendment ever intended. And yet we just think it's perfectly okay. Like, oh, you need a dozen assault rifles just for you? Sure. You need 8,000 rounds of ammunition? Wow. You must be a bad shot if it takes you that many to get the target. This is crazy. We are absolutely the laughingstock of the rest of the world because of our Second Amendment. That's insane. You want to own a gun because you feel like you need to protect your family? Fine. You want to own a gun because you're a hunter? Fine. If you need anything more than that, there's a problem. And those problems need to be addressed. His desire to attack Democrats and Twitter, and this was just 2 days after Twitter had suspended Donald Trump. This guy went crazy because a private company said Donald Trump can't send messages to people anymore. I couldn't imagine a dumber reason to go and spend possibly the rest of your life in jail because you were mad that Trump got suspended from Twitter. But that is what he has done to these people's brains. You know, he kind of attracted people who already were kind of on edge, I guess you would say, and he pushed them all the way over. And they thanked him all the way as they were falling off that cliff. They view him as some kind of god. And again, I can't imagine a worse human being to think like, oh yeah, that's going to be my Messiah. Really? Make better choices. Not just in your actions, but also if you're going to choose a false idol, at least choose one that has some kind of quality that people would want to emulate. Good God. Nevertheless, in all seriousness, this is a dangerous individual. This is an individual that had the intent. These were not idle threats. He had the means. He expressed his willingness. These were things that he was going to do. And luckily, he was taken off the streets before he could do any of this. But he is not alone. You know, who was this person that he's text messaging? Who was on the other end of that phone? That person needs to be brought in. Unless, of course, it was an FBI informant of some kind, who knows? But there's more of these folks out there. These people absolutely lost their minds when Donald Trump lost the election, and they will stop at nothing to make people pay for it. That's what we have to be on the lookout for, and that is what the FBI, law enforcement agencies, they have to be working on cases like this before something horrible happens. Death threats to members of Congress are already going through the roof right now. Okay, this is a serious problem that is getting worse. And taking one guy off the street is fantastic, but there's plenty more that are still out there. One of today's video sponsors is Privacy, and right now they have a wonderful offer for all of our Ring of Fire viewers. Go to privacy.com/ROF. Sign up for your Privacy account and you will receive $5. Privacy.com, their service is absolutely one of the most vital in an online world today, especially during the pandemic. Everyone is encouraged to stay home, so we're ordering more things online. And so your bank account information is more vulnerable than ever. Privacy gives you security. This is a product that I use all of the time, and here's why. If you have ever had your bank account information stolen, if it's been part of a data leak, that is a massive headache, trying to get your money back, trying to repair your credit. Privacy helps take away some of that concern. What Privacy does is it provides a browser extension, or you can go right into the website or into the app, and it can create a virtual bank account or credit card number. It can be a temporary number that only is used one time, or it can be merchant specific, meaning you can create a bank account card that only works for one particular website. So if that account happens to get hacked or has a massive data breach, that card number no longer works with any other website. That is how Privacy helps protect your bank account information in an increasingly insecure online world. So again, go to privacy.com/ROF. You get $5 free just for signing up. Or if you don't want to type it in, just click the link at the top of the video description below.